Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. Sorry I'm late. I pride myself on not being late for these shows or any show. So I apologize. But sometimes duty calls, right? And gotta do something with the little kids. So, all right. Let me get my bearings together. I'm a little behind, but I didn't want to make you guys wait any longer. I have a pretty interesting topic for you guys tonight. I saw some of the chatter. Hannibal, this shirt's for you. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Sorry to keep you waiting. Get those thumbs up. I got a good one for you guys today. What a Polly, Gig Gal, Slim Pippin. How you guys doing? What a week. What a week. This week has just been all over the place. If you guys can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. I'm sure that you can. Just want to make sure that you guys can before I start rambling and talk to you about the topic. Talk to you, and we're going to talk about something I saw today. We're going to show that video. Endo, what's up? How you doing? Yep. All right. So the audio's good. You guys can hear me. Fatah, appreciate that. Okay. What is the description of this live tonight? Let me double check. It's been a very busy day. DoorDash drivers live. Should all Dashers get equal pay? ? Why many gig workers aren't making money. I'm going to solve all your problems tonight. No, we will not do that. All right. Hope everybody's doing good. Appreciate y'all. This is a live. If you're new here, we go live every Sunday. We end the week together. We start a new week together. It's the best live show in the gig economy, in my opinion. That's just me. And we have a great community of OGs, vets, new people in the comments helping each other out, asking questions, answering questions. The live chat's always fun. The conversations go all over the place. And then we use the StreamYard link to bring you on the show if you want to be a part of it. Now, let me go ahead and pull up this video. So you guys talk amongst yourselves for a second while I find it. And I'm going to put it up on the screen. It's like a 1-minute video. And I want to get your guys' opinion on equality in the gig work. Meaning some people think companies should treat us all equal, regardless of full-time, part-time, ratings, whatever, right? A lot of people feel that way, right? And today isn't me debating anybody, and I'm going to tell you how I feel. I want you to watch this video, and I want to see what do you think about it? And then I'll share mine first. But I'll pull it up for you guys in just a second. And then I'll get into the chat. Give some shout outs to you guys, all right? And we'll get the show started. I'll share the StreamYard link, all that good stuff. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Where is this video? Let's see if I can't find it for you guys here. I saw it earlier today from somebody that I don't even know if they have a channel, but they made content. You know how the algorithm works. It will show you things that you think you might want to watch. I was like, oh, what is this? Interesting. Here it is. The title is Instacart Equality. It has 22 views. So I'm going to credit the creator. Good deeds. 22 views. 22 views. So go check it out. You can check it out later, but we're going to watch it together here in just a second. Okay, so let me pull this up and then I'll pause it. Okay, 1 second, guys. Let's put that there. All right. Hold on. I would have had this queued for you guys, but I was a little behind. I'm going to give this video a thumbs up. There's no thumbs up on it. I'm going to thumbs it up right now. Since we're going to be watching it and we're using it for a little topic today, I need to be able to do that. Okay, so let me do that. Okay. I'm way behind. Sorry. Oh, Lord, what is going on here? Okay. Before I have an anxiety attack, let me just chill for a second. What up, Mushi Moo? What up, Mushi Moo? How you doing, brother? Dash across America, Jag. Okay, let me see one thing here. Shout out to the 190. Hit the damn thumbs up button while I get this stuff together here. Okay. I don't want the feedback to be crazy. Okay, I got that up. Let me go back in here and see if I can show you guys this video. Okay, so let's go here. Equality in the gig economy. Should there be favoritism? Should gig companies treat all gig workers the same? That's the topic for tonight. I want to hear from people that think on either side. Okay, the StreamYard link's going to be open just in a minute here. Bad message. Okay, calm down. You have to let your heart take the break for a second. Yeah, I'm good. All right, it's been a good day. Share screen. Okay, let's do that. Let me see if this is gonna pop up here. Okay, do you guys see that? I think you do. You guys see my boy Hannibal up at the top right? Oh, that's my boy right there. All right, let me see. Let me do that. Okay, you guys can see that. Yep, you guys can see that. Okay, what up, Nomadic? How you guys doing tonight? Okay, so I'm gonna play this. And Qualia, always a pleasure. The stream don't start till Qualia shows up. I always kind of say that in my mind. It's not officially alive until Qualia is in the house. What up, RC? I see you. All right, let me pop my limoncello LaCroix, and let's get this video popping for you guys. And I want you to watch it. And if you don't hear it, I'm gonna get it to you at some point. What up, Craig? How you doing? Okay, so let me go ahead and play this. 1 second. I think. Let me see. Hold on here. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Let me see.
So what's your bitch about the tier status?
Yeah. It sucks for those of us who can't get out here and shop every single fucking day. You don't get access to every batch that becomes available. It sits there and waits for the priority ones, and then you get your chance.
We've been out here days upon days sometimes and only gotten, what, $6?
Today we're at $7.06 after being here for 2 hours, at least. And there's no guarantee we'll get anything else today. Don't even cover our gas.
I think Instacart needs to step it up. What do they need to do?
They need to make it a more even scale for everybody. Not just the ones that can be out here every day. Some of us still use this as a income.
And what do you do full time?
House cleaning. That ain't doing much either. Nobody wants a second clean.
Look at the camera and tell them at Instacart what needs to change.
Just make it easier for everybody. I have nothing else to do but do this all day long.
Is that your final thought?
That's my final thought.
Okay, hold on, guys. So let me play it again.
So what's your bitch about the tier status?
On Instacart?
Yeah.
It sucks for those of us who can't get out here and shop every single fucking day. You don't get access to every batch that becomes available. It sits there and waits for the priority ones, and then you get your chance.
We've been out here days upon days sometimes and only gotten, what, $6?
Today we're at $7.06 after being here for 2 hours, at least.
$7, 2 hours.
And there's no guarantee we'll get anything else today. Don't even cover our gas.
Doesn't even cover the gas.
I think Instacart needs to step it up. What do they need to do?
They need to make it a more even scale for everybody.
More even scale for everybody.
Not just the ones that can be out here every day. Some of us still use this as a income.
And what do you do full time?
House cleaning. That ain't doing much either. Nobody wants a second clean.
Well, look at the camera and tell them at Instacart what really needs to change.
Just make it easier for everybody to be able to get a batch, not just
Make it easier for everybody to get a batch, not just the full time.
Okay. Do but do this all day long.
Okay, so let me remove that. All right, I think you guys kind of heard it. Some of you said it was low. Okay, I saw that video today, and you can tell. Well, first, what do you guys think? What do you think about Instacart, DoorDash? Because they all do it. I don't care. We could debate that. If you want to talk about ratings and seniority and whatever, like, it matters on the apps. They tell you that. I don't care who you think you are. You're wrong if you think different. So she's saying with Instacart, she's part-time and they're giving all the good batches because there's a tier system in Instacart. They tell you that. Priority access to batches if you reach certain metrics. She's sitting there and she's part-time and she's made $7 or $6 in 2 hours. Didn't even cover her gas costs. And she's saying she's not seeing opportunities because Instacart is playing favorites to people that work more. You work more, you get more points, more tier, you get priority, and she's at the bottom of the food chain with Instacart. Some people feel this with Spark, Uber, DoorDash, right? And it's painful to watch because you could tell she looks defeated, and that sucks. And her husband, her boyfriend, whoever that man is, and that you don't see, it's asking her questions. Wants, obviously they had a conversation before, and she's not in a good spot. She's got a business on the side. People aren't spending money. She cleans homes. She's struggling. I think she might be what some would say the average American, doing this kind of work part-time to subsidize their income because her other revenue income stream, cleaning homes in this case, has kind of dried up. And I do think there are a number of gig economy workers that have that feeling. So let me read a couple of comments before I give my opinion and before I let the live stream. Okay. What up, Savvy Shopping? Savvy Shopper delivers. Why would she take any bats for $7? Good question. I don't know her market. I'm not sure. Again, it has nothing to do with tiers on Instacart. She's in a bad market. You have to adapt. Sure. Absolutely. It needs to be fair to everyone, says Dazzledorn. But everyone shouldn't be treated equally. If you have better ratings, better AR, completion rate, customer rating, etc., it should matter. I completely agree with you. Some would say we're independent contractors, Pedro. These numbers shouldn't matter. It should be based on how close you are and whatever else. I completely disagree with that statement. What up, Mad Dash? How you doing? It's her responsibility to figure out how to make money. These companies are not going to give you shit. You have to take it 100%, okay? I'll give you the 7 if you need that money that bad. Hey, Pedro, how are you, sir? Fox 7, I'm good. Gig Wars, what's up, Craig? I don't have a problem here on IC, and I'm not in the higher tier yet. Well, your market might be better. Maybe your market can't sustain as many people, right? Market is a key indicator here. But we're talking more mindset. We're talking more, do the companies have a responsibility to you and I to treat us equal? Or should some of the metrics matter? If you come out and you work 1 day a week, every Friday, and let's say you work dinner, there are a lot of people that fall in, millions of people fall into this bucket. You work every Friday after your W-2, and you work dinner. You work 5 to 9. You work 4 hours a week. If you are full-time and your numbers are good, you give great service, your numbers are good, boom, 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 right? You're more reliable for DoorDash or Instacart than the person we're talking about that works 4 hours a week every Friday for some extra money, which I think is great. And you're both in the same parking lot and a good order comes through. Who should get that order? Some would argue, well, give it to the part-timer, make them feel engaged. They want to make money, Some would say, give it to the person that's been working all week and has better numbers. Who should get it? Some people think there's a honeymoon phase where a new DoorDasher, new Instacart person, they treat you well for the first 90 days on purpose. I think that's absolute bullshit. I don't think that's true at all. I think it's a matter of coincidence and your market. Everybody has a different opinion. That's my opinion on it. But should the companies treat us all equal? Isn't that what they're trying to do in New York City, which is failing miserably? I got a whole nother thing on that. I'm going to be interviewing somebody that's in New York City. The New York City legislation is fucking garbage. You're going to start seeing more people complain about it. Any legislation is garbage. Hot take. Any ANY, all capitals, legislation is hot trash. But do the companies, should they treat us equal? Should that woman have the same opportunity as somebody that is full-time diamond shopper on Instacart? What do you guys think? Let me read some comments and I'll share my opinion, open the line. The full-time person is using it to pay bills and live, not extra. Well, Holly, that's true. But the person that's doing it part-time is still using it to pay bills. So money is money, right? What up, Tony? How you doing? New York City is equatable, not equality. Yeah, they're kind of raising the floor, though. Granule Levi, what's up? I think the New York City legislation is good. Lori, first person I've heard say that. Maybe are you in New York? Let me know. Most companies rely on their full-time employees over part-time. Okay, yeah. How you get there when the companies keep dropping your numbers? I don't know what that means, dropping your numbers. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I think if you go the extra mile to provide above average service, you should get above average orders. Let me ask you guys another question. Do you think the apps play favoritism? I make videos, I show some of my orders, and people are like, oh my God, that's either not real, or Pedro's only showing us the good orders when I show y'all everything, or the DoorDash is feeding me these orders. Do you guys think that happens? Do you think that DoorDash, Instacart, do you think they play favorites? Do you think the algorithm is that advanced? What do you think? What do you think about tier programs? A lot of people don't like them. A lot of people hate them. A lot of people say tier programs aren't good for the gig economy because we're independent contractors. These things shouldn't matter. How you doing? Cruising PC Vet. Appreciate that. First come, first serve. What do you mean by that? Elaborate. Nah, because even low 70%. Okay, I'm in New York City tonight. I made $29.93 plus $10 tips in 1 hour. That's fantastic. I love that for you. Good, 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 good. That must be with DoorDash because Uber Eats changed it down to the 17 and some change. I love the tier program, says Leonard. Yes, it favors, I believe, says Janet Wilson. Okay. I really like being full-time. Not everybody does. Yeah, definitely full-time is not for everybody, but some people are built a little bit different. What up, Levi? How you doing? Okay, so Gig Wars Fisher says, I did 7 batches today. It's still tough fighting against the other diamond shoppers. Sure it is. Yeah, we're definitely our own competition. Full-time, yes, deserves the preference, says Hockey PNC. Higher acceptance rate, higher favoritism, says Sam Lee. Okay, okay. All right, so work smarter, not harder, anti-lazy. Okay, okay. So let me pose another question, and I'll give my opinion on the video. So when I see that video, I definitely have empathy. I can sympathize. She looks defeated. And I think a lot of us feel that way. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. I think if you come here, most of you probably don't feel defeated because this channel is a little different than some of the others. We try to be positive, try to take personal responsibility here. I preach that. I try to challenge you guys, try to show you ways to adapt and evolve. I think most of us are in that mindset, but some of us maybe are like her. We're struggling and we feel defeated. We've all felt defeated at some point. I want you guys to feel that defeatness, right? Take it and adapt and roll with it because we've all been her at one point. I don't care who you are. You're lying if you're saying you haven't had a bad day, had a moment, felt like this isn't worth it. You made $7. We've all had those days. I've had them. I've had them a few times where I feel like, why am I doing this, man? Is it worth it? Is it good? Because it's a roller coaster, the gig economy. But while I understand her, why does she think we should all be equal? She wants equality from Instacart. Mushimu, appreciate the $9.99. I made $300 today. Wants to share the wealth with the GOAT. Everyone liked the stream. Appreciate that, Mushimu. $300 is fantastic, bro. Anytime you make $300, it's a fantastic day. Thank you for the $9.99, brother. So, should we be equal on these apps? Do ratings matter? That's the topic I got tonight. Should it matter? Should favoritism matter? Should that full-timer that's been doing 50 Instacarts this week, they're doing 50 batches, it's Friday, and they're in the parking lot with a part-timer and a good batch comes in. Who should get it? A good batch from Costco. It's 3 bottles of wine, a rotisserie chicken, and some toilet paper. It's 5 items. It's paying $80, and it's going 5 miles. Every one of you would take that order. From beginning to end, it's going to take you 40 minutes. From finding it, checking out, driving. 40 minutes, you're going to make $80. Should the part-timer get that? Or should the person that's been working the app, servicing the community, helping Instacart build their brand, should they get it because they have better ratings and because they're more of a tier? A DoorDash order comes in. Papa John's, $16 plus, 18 pizzas. My acceptance rate's 66. Yours is 8. Who should get the order? My customer rating is 5.00. I got 11,000 deliveries. I'm on time. I got a 98% completion rate. And the other driver next to me works just on Fridays, 6% AR, 4.87 rating. They've got 500 deliveries. Who should get the order? Sometimes that person's going to get it, and they should. Or should it be me? Should it be you? And why? That's the topic for tonight's show. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate all the love. Let me read some more comments, and I'm going to open up a StreamYard link for you guys to hop on it. Brandon says, hot bags, okay. The German Dad says, AR should not matter. All other ratings, yes. Yeah, I don't disagree with that, Tony. I don't disagree. When I talk about ratings, we're not just talking AR, but I don't necessarily disagree with that. Let's see. If I tip a waiter or waitress money, I want all of it going to him, her. I don't want her having to split it with others. Sure. But they do. You do know that most restaurants have tip share. That 99% of restaurants have tip share. So the host staff in some cases and the bartender staff and the bus boy and girls are getting tipped out from your tips that you gave that server. At the end of the night, the server, in most cases, 2 or 3% of their gross sales is going towards the staff. So that's not always true. Okay. Christopher Taylor, thank you. I saw that even W-2s don't pay the same. Exactly, Christopher Taylor. We're not W-2, but great point. Even W-2s don't pay the same. And there's favoritism and seniority in W-2s, right? Appreciate that. $2. Cruising PC vet. Miles matter. Okay. Miles can matter sometimes. All right. So I think you guys have good opinions here. I think we could have a good talk tonight. Let me share this link. I'm going to pin it in the chat. Okay. And I'm looking for some fresh perspective. If you've never been on the show, I want to hear from you. If you've always wanted to come on, maybe sometimes it's busy. Okay. I want to hear from you tonight. If you've been on the show before, yeah, you can come on at some point. I'm looking for fresh faces. I'm looking for fresh markets, fresh perspective. I'm looking for somebody to have different opinion, same opinion. I just want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to hear, do you think these apps should treat us all equal? Should we be equal? All right, let me go ahead. Hey, Ellen, how are you? Let me go ahead and pin this for you guys. The StreamYard link is pinned at the top of the chat. Join the show. James says AR matter. Okay. Remember, not too long ago, the ratings we did not even give about. Now you have to adapt to a total different layout where everything matters. Brian in Orlando, it absolutely has changed. The apps have definitely changed and evolved. They realized they had the power to make ratings matter more than ever because they have so many people that want to do this work, and we are competing against each other for the orders. It wasn't like that a couple of years ago. Okay. Pedro treated equal. Yes. Be equal. No. Get out. Go on up. Cray, now you can come up. So I'm looking for some fresh perspective. If you've never been a part of this show, if you do Instacart, really any app, but this one was Instacart. This lady was doing Instacart. The description of the video was Instacart equality. What does that look like? What should it be? I think there's a lot of different ways we should be treated equally and fair and all those things, right? When it comes to maybe deactivations and customer reviews and reports, and when we need something from these companies, whether it's via support or whatever, we should all be treated with kindness and equal and all that stuff, right? But when it comes to making money and orders hitting your interface of your phone, should it be equal? Should everybody have the same advantage or disadvantage? That's what I'm looking for tonight. So let's see. I'll read some more comments while we're waiting to see if anybody wants to pop up. Let's see here. Any good order? Let me see here. I'll never take $2 orders. Y'all have it. Yeah, I can't. Let's see. Cray's out dashing. Big Carl says, I used to say AR didn't matter, but it's been more than proven to me in my market. Big Carl's in my market. So if anybody that thinks it doesn't matter, he's in St. Louis. I've met Big Carl. It matters in St. Louis. My girlfriend went out today, Madison. She wanted to work for a little bit. She did not make good money. Her AR is pretty low. She did not do good. Her friend went out today. And this is all, listen, this could be coincidental. It's fine. It depends. There's a lot of factors, but she made twice as much money as my girl, and they were out for the same amount of time. Same market. I had a $37 for 37 miles for 4 orders for 5 items, not eligible for tip. That looks like that was, yeah, Daniel, that's not a very good order. Hope your family's good, bro. Rodney, we're fantastic, man. We've had a really good week here in the Santiago household. It is good. I don't see anybody who wants to come up yet. Maybe I'll just end the live. I don't see anybody that wants to give me their opinion. I'll read comments all night. It's all good. I've had a good week. This week's been interesting. I've had people react to my videos. I've had other people commenting, and then they make a video. Shout out to my man Carson Cribbs. That's how I started my week. We did some lives today. I shared with you guys the Papa John's glitch. If you know, you know. Little controversy around that. I was reading some comments, and a lot of people think that that's impossible in their market. Yeah, I don't know what to say. That's your market, but it's happening in St. Louis. And if it's happening in St. Louis, I'll say this. When something happens in one market of St. Louis, okay, it can't be the only place that it's happening. It's literally impossible. All right, I see Mad Dash. I see Driven Dad. I see Giovanni. I'll wait a few more minutes here, see if anybody else is going to join. What I'm going to do tonight is you're going to come up one at a time, and you get 5 minutes. I want to hear your perspective on the video that we watched. Maybe you didn't watch it. Basically, it's an Instacart woman talking about Instacart equality. She's part-time, and she goes out. She makes $7 or so in 2 hours. She's not seeing batches, and she's upset because other full-timers that are diamond shoppers are seeing batches, and she thinks it's not fair. That's the topic, so stay on topic. If you come on the show, I want to get your 5-minute opinion on that. And is there anything we could do to change it, to make her have a better experience? I want her to make money. Is she not adapting enough? Should she get another app? All these things are, those are easy things to say, but is there a bigger issue here? I don't know. I want to hear from you guys, okay? So let me go ahead and bring up, I'll bring up Mad Dash first. I see Tony waiting. I see Giovanni. I see RC. I'll bring in Mad Dash first. Mad Dash, is this the Mad Dash that I know? Because I don't see a face. So if you could show me your face, that would be fantastic. We've had other people come on here and do some crazy things. It is. Okay. It is you. You don't have to show it to the people, but I wanted to make sure that was you. Let me add you to the show. And we're going to do 5 minutes at a time. So we're not taking up everybody's time in the background. Okay. Mad Dash, what's up, brother?
What's up? Can you hear me well?
We can hear you just fine. Give me your thoughts on the
new
topic.
phone. This has affected my dash. When they did the diamond program, it totally crashed my market.
Mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't get nothing if you didn't have 50%. Which what do you do about it? It's their platform. Here, hold on. Can I hear you?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Okay. All right.
Go ahead.
So it's a supply and demand. If anybody's willing to do it for the price that they put out there, it's really it is what it is. It hurts my heart seeing somebody like struggling. They're going out here because they need to pay a bill or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it needs to be customer service. If you're a good dasher, you're a good dasher. So if your customer rating is down, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
But there's never been something that's such a discretionary income. Like if the economy goes down and people don't have the discretionary income to tip, it's going to get really ugly out here. But
yeah.
I mean, DoorDash is free to run their programs. I don't know what else to say. It sucks out here.
What would you say to her if you were, if she was in a parking lot by you and you were like, "Hey, do you do Instacart or DoorDash?" And she's like, "Yeah, I've been out here. I do part-time. I'm not seeing anything." Like, what would your advice be to her?
Get your numbers up. And it sucks. It makes me throw up in my mouth.
Yeah.
To be like, all right, because the strategy that I'm running right now is I have the shop and pay priority,
Mm-hmm.
but I got to stay above 70%
Mm-hmm.
because every shop and pay is a diamond order.
Mm.
If I didn't have these two metrics, you couldn't make money on DoorDash right now because it's January slowdown.
Mm.
Like there's football today, so there is money to be made delivering food on a Sunday when there's football. But Monday through Friday, you're not making any money in my market unless you have unless you're doing the shop and pays.
Yeah.
Because a $5 tip, so say that's the mean tip, right? You know, on a shop and pay, that's a diamond order. And like I don't know, the food delivery, there's too many miles involved to make it even worth your time.
Yeah.
At least in January. I mean, when tax time comes, when people start getting their tax returns, it'll pick back up.
Well, and that's a whole nother subject I'm going to crash on because a lot of people are getting a lot less money this year. People that have done their taxes and they're not happy, but that's a whole nother thing. But so I think that might trickle down into us because some people are not going to have as much of that extra tax money as they thought, right? Because typically when February hits for us, you know, we start seeing some weekends where people are ordering and there's some volume and a little spike in it. But I don't know what that's going to look like this year. It'll be interesting though. Yeah, it definitely sucks, and it's hard to say. You said you tell her to get her numbers up, so take more batches, but she's kind of telling us she's not really seeing much, which could be a whole nother issue. It could be her market's just dried up. She's at the wrong time of day. Who knows? But
what's horrible is that your strategy plays into the gig apps hands. Like, you know, like they when it was different before the diamond program, they cornered it. They checkmated us.
Mm-hmm.
Because now it is like there's 100% difference when you're below 50% AR. There's just no doubt about it. They have cornered it. So I don't know what else to tell her because there's only so much to go around. So I mean, to keep your AR above 50 or 70, you're gonna have to take.
It's not going to be easy.
Not like ridiculous runs. Like you have to save your declines for these ridiculous bullshit 250 runs.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why DoorDash would throw out a 250 for 7 miles.
Well, and she's doing Instacart. Instacart will send a $7, $8, $9, $10 run. It'll be 100 units. Like that's horrible too, because that could take you an hour to do. Gonna make.
We talked on the phone. I don't mess with Instacart.
Yeah, Instacart,
just because of that.
Instacart to me is even the worst kind of offer you could get, in my opinion, would be on Instacart. I'm not saying it's the worst platform, but like overall, like if we're talking just the worst, because you could do a McDonald's run, it's $2.50 for a mile. That's horrible, but it's not. I would rather do that than to shop 100 items for somebody and get paid $7. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, like it's 10 times worse, but. We'll see. I'm going to bring up the Driven Dad. Mad Dash, appreciate you, bro. We'll talk later.
I appreciate it. All right. I got to go bed. Later, man.
All right. So, yeah, it's I see you guys in the chat saying Malta app. Yeah, we definitely have to do that, right? And her situation might be she's on a wait list. Who knows? But at the core of it, her message was, I want Instacart equality. That was the description of the video. She doesn't feel like she's being treated equal because she doesn't work like as much as everybody else because she doesn't have the time. So what do we think about that? Is she fair to feel that way? Should it be more equal for the part-timers versus the full-timers? Now, Tony, we're going to bring up here, the Driven Dad. He's a full-timer. So we'll see what his perspective is. Now, let me see who else is waiting. I want to get everybody up here. Giovanni, I see RC, I see Slim Pippin, Cowboy Courier, Gig. I'm going to get all you guys up here 5 minutes at a time. Let's bring up Driven Dad first. Tony, how you doing, brother?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you just fine. So give me your perspective. Give me your thoughts. I know you chatted in the chat a little bit, so let's talk a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with people wanting equal treatment. I'm not okay with equal outcomes. Like people's money shouldn't be subsidized by other people's efforts.
Mm.
But I don't know. I think all these gig apps have predicated that they are side hustles, right?
They have.
But
They definitely stand on that, and they kind of promote that for sure.
all of their programs are geared towards, well, not all of them, but a lot of these programs are geared towards that you're a full-time worker.
Mm. Mm.
Like if they were all part-time and you could do this part-time and get all these programs part-time, I would have like all the programs on all of my apps easily.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good point,
So,
because the way the systems work, whether even it's on Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, if you're doing it part time, it's going to be hard to achieve some of the metrics as far as to get the points, because you might not be out enough, right? So then that's not. You're saying maybe that isn't fair because they design it in a way for the full timers to have the most of the benefits, right?
no, they screw both ends because
Mm.
it's not designed to be a full-time app.
Mm.
But the program is so hard to achieve that you have to do full time, right?
Yeah.
So they rope you into agreeing to do something part time as a side hustle, and then you end up doing it more than part time.
Yeah. 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 Do you think that, what do you say about when you see people talking about the honeymoon phase on some apps where, like, if you're newer, they'll treat you better to kind of grab a hold of you to maybe flip you to full time? Do you think there's any weight in that, or do you think that's just coincidental?
I think there is a little bit of weight in that, well, especially for like DoorDash, because they'll give you like Diamond program and Top Dasher for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now you won't be able to keep it after the 2 weeks, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
You have to wait till you get the actual stats to get those programs. But well, I guess Diamond you could keep if you keep your stats up. But I think they want to give a little bit of love that way to keep you, not necessarily to pull you into full time, but to not have you turn over.
Yeah.
As long as you follow that program, because if you follow that program, then you're playing by their rules instead of an independent contractor's rules. So
Yeah.
if they can get new people in and keep them brainwashed into accepting pretty much everything,
Yeah.
that's what they're going to try to accomplish. And
Yeah.
as soon as people, like, I don't think they really care about veterans. I think they'd rather not have the veterans because we can adapt to the systems and figure out the most profitable way that we can do without giving the company as much profit as the new guy.
Yeah. What would you say to her? Like I asked Mad Dash, what would you say to her if you were in a parking lot and she was like, "Man, I'm not getting anything. I've been out here for 2 hours. I don't think this is fair." Like, what would you say to her?
Well, I don't know her in general. I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she is not a W-2 minded person, not a equity person. Like equality,
Yeah.
yes. Equity, no. Equity
Yeah.
is the equal sharing of misery, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she's just not getting the opportunity. If she had the opportunity, she'd be a good shopper. She knows what she's doing, etc.
Yeah.
If it's feasible, I would say, maybe get a part-time job at one of these places instead of doing Instacart right now, if you really need that money, or, try other apps. Even if like you don't want a multi-app or whatever, you just want to do one, like try other apps till you find one that can sustain what your expectations are.
Yeah. I think that's a good point, because sometimes we might get comfortable with Instacart or comfortable with DoorDash or Uber rideshare, and we don't know what else is out there that might allow us to maximize our opportunities, maximize our income. You might be making $20 an hour on Instacart in a smaller town and think that that's fantastic, right? Because you were making $15 at Taco Bell last month, but you might be missing out on opportunities because you're stuck in the ways of like just settling sometimes. Right. A lot of DoorDash drivers and gig economy workers, sometimes we settle when really we don't need to.
And then I would also give her the idea of working on the dumpling app and trying to develop some of her personal owned clients It's not like it's going to be the magic bullet, but over time it could be.
Yeah.
As a slow buildup if you're not knowing what you're doing. But like you could figure it out and make your own business work for you, doing something that you know how to do and doing it better because, you know, you're working with the same people over and over.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Dumpling, I know it obviously takes effort, but you know, it might take
But
you
as
a
long
year or
as she's
something
been
to build
sitting
it.
in that parking lot, she has effort to build that, you know.
Absolutely. She's got time. She obviously has time. She had 2 hours,
Yeah.
right? She wasn't doing anything. So yeah. Tony, I
So
appreciate
those would be my advices.
I appreciate your perspective as always, man. Have a good rest of your night. You hustling tonight? You working?
Yeah, absolutely.
Be safe, brother.
All right.
All right. I see Giovanni. I see Slim Pip and Cowboy Courier. I'm going to get all of you guys up. I see RC. I'll get all of you guys up. Read a few comments here. We're talking about Instacart, DoorDash, Grubhub, Spark, equality. That woman wants equality. She doesn't like that she's part-time and the full-timers are taking away her opportunities. She's not able to make money. What do you say about that? Do you think she's right? Do you think she's wrong? What would you tell her if you saw her in a parking lot? What advice would you give her? Would you tell her she needs to stop? Maybe you got to find something else. Maybe, you know, are you being too selective? We don't know. Maybe her minimum is $50 on Instacart. And she's like, oh, I don't do anything unless it's that. Well, then there's a problem there. You could think that, but maybe that's why you're slow. I don't think that's the case. I think she's just not seeing batches. Or she sees it and maybe they go away quick. Because if you are on the top level, there's priority access. There are times there's times that I might see something and that other person's next to me, they don't even see it. At least that's what Instacart says. I don't know that to be true, but they say that in the words of their programs, right? That's what they say, right? So what would we tell her? I'm gonna ask Giovanni and see what his thoughts are on this subject. Appreciate all the super chats. Cruising PC Vet says, if I sit in a parking lot for 90 minutes, I go home. Man, I don't blame you.
There you go.
All right, Giovanni, what are your thoughts
Thank
on
you.
tonight's topic, my friend?
Hey, can
Giovanni,
you guys hear me? Can you
Yeah,
guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
All right. Sorry, just to preface, I'm working right now, and I just had the most awkward ID scan
Those can be awkward.
possible. Yeah, there's like a beware of dog sign at the front, like hordes of piles of garbage,
Oh man,
and I was just
are
trying
you
to
good
get
to talk? You want me to bring
Yeah,
you back?
yeah, I'm good now.
Okay.
I literally, like, as you were talking to me, I just pulled out of there.
Yeah, gotcha. So give me your opinion on the video. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I saw the
Okay.
video.
So give me your opinion on the topic at hand.
So I guess I want to start off by saying that I'm a full-timer. So, I mean, I guess that definitely does affect my perspective a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to kind of say anything to her, it would be, unfortunately, the situation is currently you have to get your numbers up. I mean, my wife, she's somewhere between part-time and full-time for Instacart. And somehow, I don't know how, somehow she's at the diamond level. So she does, I guess, just enough orders to maintain that diamond level.
Mm-hmm.
So she sees, a good amount of decent orders. I won't say that all of them are great, but she sees a number of, like $20, $25, $30 orders. Today she got blessed with a $60 Instacart order. So that
Gotta
was
love
nice.
those. They don't happen often.
Yeah, few and far between for sure. But I mean, I guess on the flip side, my wife also has DoorDash, and I've had the conversation with her many, many times, almost to the point where it's like an argument, where she's like, well, DoorDash doesn't give me any good offers. I don't want to do DoorDash. I just want to do Instacart. And I'm like, well, you got to get your numbers up, because she's over 50%, but she is, not at that 70% threshold. Now I'm over 70%. And DoorDash is pretty much mostly my bread and butter. I don't do Instacart anymore. I do like I do some catering apps, and I was doing point pickup for a while, but that kind of dried up this week in my area. But DoorDash pretty much feeds me pretty good offers most of the time.
Yeah.
And I would have to say that's because in my market, acceptance rate does matter. So I keep my AR above 70%, and it works out for me.
Yeah.
And I make decent money with DoorDash. She
Yeah.
doesn't make good money with DoorDash at all, and her
Right.
acceptance rate is under that 70%. So
Right.
unfortunately, that's just the way that both of these apps are kind of set up right now.
Yeah. Do you think it will ever change? Do you think it will ever go back to where there's no priority, there's no tier programs, there's no diamond? Do you ever think it will go back?
I don't think so. I mean, I think there's always going to be some level of priority.
Mm.
I can't really speak to what the future of it will be, but I don't really see them going backwards, unfortunately. And, it's unfortunate for a lot of these part-timers that are out there just to make a few extra bucks here and there. But
Right.
I mean, Tony was touching on it. Like the apps, I guess, were initially designed for that part-time mentality. And, you see these ads on YouTube and wherever for DoorDash, like, oh, make some extra money here and there. But you really do have to keep your stats up to get in these programs. The pizza program, LOP,
Yeah.
Top Dasher. Like, if you want to be an LOP, you got to do 100 deliveries a month, which to me, that really isn't a lot. I'm doing at least 100 a week.
Right. But that's a lot for somebody. If they're only working 1 or 2 days a week, that depending on the hours, that 100 could be hard to achieve.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. I'm like, I tell a lot of my friends that do part-time dashing. My brother does part-time dashing, and he's like always picking my brain about, he's like, how do you make so much money doing this full time? And I'm like, first of all, I mean, you just got to grind it out. I mean, I'm out here 10, 12, 14-hour days a lot of times. And, not everybody has the mindset for that. Not everybody has the energy. Some people, like, they can only tolerate 3 or 4 hours in the car.
Right.
And I guess, I'm part of that whatever percent. I'm built a little bit different. I can tolerate it. But
Yeah.
I was telling him, you got to have your numbers up, which, most of the metrics are pretty easy. Acceptance rate, that's just a matter of accepting orders. Like, even if they're trash orders, anybody can accept orders. Completion rate, same thing. You can keep that up pretty easily. But pretty much the hardest part is the 100 deliveries a month if you're trying to get that top tier LOP status,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I appreciate Giovanni. I appreciate your perspective tonight. I'm going to get to the next person. We'll try to keep it about 5. Be safe tonight if you're out hustling, man. And I hope you keep making some good money. And I appreciate your insight.
Yeah. Thanks, Pedro. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you. All right. Cruising PC Vet says, I will not take a $3 order to keep 70% or 50%. Yeah, I don't listen. I don't listen. I did. What order did I do? Okay, I think it was this week. I was live, and I did an order. It was a stack, $12 or something combined. It's like 5 miles, and one of them I kind of figured didn't have a tip, and it was two. That one no tip, so that one there really paid me like nothing because it was a stack. Stacks on DoorDash only pay $2 base pay, so really in theory that order paid me $1. Yeah, but the miles to money and the time made sense. But yeah, man, it's a grind. It's a grind. All right, so we got a few other people waiting in the background. I'm gonna bring them up. You get 5 minutes. We're talking about. Oh man, hold on here. We're talking about Instacart, DoorDash, whatever app you want to put in, and then after equality, should they treat us equal? Part-timers, full-timers, 1% acceptance rate, 70% acceptance rate. Should those drivers, should they see all the same offers? Should there be favoritism? Should everybody be equal? That's the topic tonight. So let me bring up Slim Pippin. What's up, brother? How you doing?
What's up? I'm blessed, sir. How are you? Let me turn this off for you.
Right along with you, man. I'm good. Hold on. I think you're froze. Okay, you're good. All right. So what do you think about the topic tonight? Give me your perspective.
I think that it's already pretty much as equal as it can get for how it's developed over the years. I think that well, I do Instacart and DoorDash, and I think that they've been very transparent in what they're trying to offer you through their tier programs. So if you don't if you don't read what they got going on and understand that that is exactly what's going on, then that's your loss for real. So if DoorDash is telling you that you need a 70% acceptance rate to get all these good orders, then I mean, you got to go get that 70%. If Instacart's telling you got to do 200 orders in 3 months, then I mean, that's what you got to do. And from my own experience personally, I'm near a big city. I'm near Chicago. So of course I'm going to see a lot more orders and everything.
Right.
You know, I've seen the benefits of going through with those tier programs. You know, I'm diamond on Instacart. I get Top Dasher a lot. I think it's pretty straightforward for what they tell you. I think it's pretty much as equal as it can get. I do remember, you know, I remember when I would pop on Instacart and damn near every order was $15 to $25 no matter what. And but I'm also smart enough to realize that that was in the COVID era, and that's when maybe there wasn't as many shoppers, dashers, whatever you want to call it. So of course, you know, all of that was going to change over time as everybody starts to learn, like, what, you're making $300 in 20 hours, bro? Like, what? You know, of course, everyone learns that you're going to get more people doing these things, and you know, you're naturally not going to see as many orders. I've also, you know, I've hustled a lot of different things in my life, and that's just something you learn through any realm of entrepreneurship, bro. Like, your phone is either going to ring or it's not. When you're trying to look at yourself as an independent business or a contract, you want to call it, you have to understand that it's not clockwork. It's not a job. It's not a task. It's not like working at Walmart and you do this, and that, and you're going to get paid by the hour. Like, no.
Right.
When you're in the world of business, you're in the land with the wolves. You're in the jungle. You got to take what you can get. You got to seize the opportunities that you see. And you know, I think you do a pretty good job of saying that this is all just the opportunity. And that's as far as that,
that's how I look at it. But I also realize some people might look at it like, I don't want to bend the knee. I don't want to do what they tell me to do, and then maybe I'll get something on the back end. You know, some people don't have that trust in the company, and I can understand that. But I, you know, what would you tell her if you were in the parking lot with her and she's like, hey, I've been out here for 2 hours, I'm not seeing anything. Why'd you get this $50 Instacart? And I'm not, you know, what advice would you give to that woman?
On a real human level, I would tell her to look for a job. Because obviously she's in a market where if you got to wait 2 hours, honestly, like someone said, if I'm waiting 90 minutes for an order, I'm gone personally. Like I'm not going to wait around all day, you know? If she isn't, like, personally, I've been homeless in my life. You know, I've gone through a lot of things. If I'm in that situation where I have to wait 90, I'll do it, bro. Like, I'll do it. If that's the scenario, then I'm going to win at that scenario. I'm going to take whatever money I can get, whether I got to wait for it or not. But if she's in a situation where she's like trying to use these gig apps as an opportunity to add to her what she already has going on, then obviously that's a waste of time. If she's in dire need of money and she needs to take care of her family and kids or whatever she's got going on, then I mean, you might want to work at McDonald's or work at the local pantry or whatever you got to do, man. Because if the numbers aren't working right, I would never force it. You know, I would never do that. I'm gonna find something else. I'm gonna do something else. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense at all to me why.
I think that's good, honest advice. I think this kind of work, markets are different. If your market isn't sustaining your goals, you maybe have to try another hustle, right? And we don't know how long she's been doing this. We don't know if she's filling out apps at other places, but I think that's sound advice. I think it might not be something that we want to hear in the moment, but I think that we have to start being honest with one another. If you're not meeting your goals, you got to be willing to try something different, right?
For sure.
I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna bring up the next person. Have a great night, brother.
Yes, sir. You do the same.
All right, man. All right, Slim Pippin. Shout out. I see Cowboy Courier still waiting. I see my man Real Talk with Roy. I see RC. I'm gonna bring all of you guys up in just a second, one-on-one. All right. I see some good comments in here. Let me see. There's one I wanted to read. See if I can't find it. Adapt or die. Absolutely, we got adapt or die. I'll be doing earn by time tomorrow. I'm at 69. Says Gig Wars official. My acceptance rate on DoorDash is 66%. 2 or 3 days ago, it was 77, and it fell because I had some orders that, it's a rolling 100, and sometimes you accept and it makes a difference. Sometimes you decline, it does or doesn't. So, I'm not going to do anything crazy to get it to 70. I think I got 3 days left in the month, but I feel confident it'll get there. But I only want it for the Dash now, and I think marginally in St. Louis it does make a difference. But I found my little spots now that I always adapt my strategies when I do the gig work, because the markets can be very fluid, right? Things change, merchants change, base pay changes, whether you want to believe it or not. It's gone down on DoorDash, but there are some merchants, and I'm going to keep talking about it because it's the wave of the future in 2024. Just because DoorDash lowered the base pay doesn't mean the merchant, when something's ordered on the website, they could actually change that base pay. You have to find out what merchants are going to be doing that and have these conversations. If you know, I've talked about it at length this week. My average DoorDash base pay this week was $7. And I didn't have crazy peak pays. That was the week before. So we got to be going out there and trying to figure out, how do I scheme? How do I position myself to see, not bangers all day, because that's not realistic, but how not to see trash. What times do I need to turn the app off? When do I need to start? Do I turn it on from home? Do I go to my hotspot that I like? All these things can make a difference, right? All right, so let me go ahead and bring up Cowboy Courier. Then we'll do Roy. And then I see Gig Gal. I see RC. All right. Cowboy Courier, how you doing, bro?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Good. You got a lot of noise in the background.
Yeah, I got a screaming baby with me here.
Oh, I didn't know what it was. Got it. How you doing, man? Everything's good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Yeah, man, this equality thing, like, the whole idea of equality of opportunity, like, there's something to be said for that, but the drivers that are out here doing 8-hour days, 6 days a week, or 14-hour days, 4 of the days of the week. These drivers are facilitating a lot of deliveries, and that's really helping out the company. So it makes sense that they would want to reward those drivers and keep them going. Because like, also the other thing is the dispatch algorithm that they use that predicts when it's going to be busy and tries to assign peak pays based on what they think is going to be the driver to order ratio. I mean, that stuff is like the math science is prediction. And so if you are a known quantity, like DoorDash knows that you are out there in this market, in this zone or this zone, 8 hours a day, every day. That is useful data for them to be able to predict, like, okay, we have this driver that we know is going to be on the road. We have X number of drivers we know will be there.
Yeah.
And like, traditionally we have this percent of the semi-active part-timers that'll be out there. Well, but it's Super Bowl Sunday, so who knows if that, that number is going to be disturbed. Like, they have to predict all that kind of crap, and it's a lot easier for them to do that with the reliable drivers.
For sure.
And so they want to keep them rewarded, keep them feeling fat, keep them happy with these big orders, these big, like, the tip doesn't directly affect the delivery company because they're not getting that tip. But a customer that tips well, an order that has a big fat tip on it, that is an asset that they can use to reward the drivers that they want to reward. And so it makes sense that they would sort of divvy that out in a way that's going to, reward the drivers that are really helping them out.
Yeah. I think that to me but it does make sense if you're thinking about two different drivers that's part-time, full-time, and one person's making more money for the company than the other, right? More, or their output's more, they're just servicing more customers. If a good order comes through, and you can probably rely on that person because they're going to be out, they got the stats, whatever, and the algorithm sends it out. It's you know, it's going to send it to the person that has more maybe deliveries and does more deliveries overall and has a better customer rating. I think the customer rating is one that should be most impactful. That and completion, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
Reliable.
that the the number of customers and the amount of like the relative dollar amount of tips added post delivery should be a metric measured and utilized by these delivery companies. Because if
Yeah.
you're out there providing outstanding service and like a much higher percent of customers that have you are like making sure to rate, not just like out of the last moving 100, but say like lifetime total number of 5-star deliveries for one driver could be way higher than another, and they're both pegged at 5.0. But one of them, all their customers are like, oh man, yeah, I gotta rate him, versus one, every 1 in 10 customers, passively clicks the 5.
Right.
These are totally different ratings, but I feel like the added tips, I feel like that's a really clear sign. It should be a clear sign to these companies that like, hey, this driver is like really resonating with the customers.
Yeah. Good point. Curry, I want to bring up the next guest.
Well, hey, real quick, I want to say, to answer the 2 questions you've been asking everybody, what would my advice be to this lady?
What would you
I would tell her, hey, find another hotspot. Maybe you need to go out to the small town that's like, 20 minutes drive in the wrong direction and go sit at that Safeway there and, pick up some orders there. Like maybe they won't be as lucrative, but if she's sitting there in a Costco parking lot because it's Costco and I want to get those big Costco orders, but there's 15 other Instacart drivers that are sitting right there, waiting for the Costco and the Fred Meyer. Like, maybe you ought to just drive out to Podunksville and serve them out there. They got a Walmart, and then you can take some of those orders. And yeah, they're going to be 10s, 11s, 12s, but you're going to get numbers. You're going to get total lifetime delivery numbers up. Yeah. And then that is the metric that she doesn't have that's hurting her. Her dilemma is she's not getting orders at all. And so even the time that she is able to be out there, she's not racking up those, 200 deliveries towards platinum. And so she needs to go to a place where those orders do exist. Get that number up, maybe do that for a couple months. And then after she achieves platinum, then maybe if she's back at this Costco or wherever she is, maybe at that point she'll see enough of the orders that she can maintain that platinum on part-time hours.
I hear that. I think that's, sound advice. Maybe you're in the wrong spot. You're sitting on expecting something to change. Curry, appreciate you, man. Bring up the next guy.
All right. Cheers, buddy.
All right. So, yeah, Instacart, DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever app, insert name here, equality. Should those things go together? Should DoorDash drivers, Instacart shoppers, should we all be equal? Let's see what Roy has to say. I think he's going to have some good opinion on this. Roy, how you doing, brother?
What's up, man?
Bring it, man. Bring it. What do you got? What's your thoughts on this?
My opinion, as far as equal pay, no. But this goes back. I'm going to say hello to all my gig employees out there. How you guys doing? But that's what it goes basically about. This is why I don't believe you're independent contractors. First of all, should all drivers be equal? Yes. Just because I choose to do it part-time doesn't mean that a full-timer should get picked over me. And this is where the employee thing comes in. It's just like any company. These companies work like any other company. They reward their better employees. Like if I worked at a hotel, I'm a better employee. Of course, I'm going to move up the ladder faster because I'm doing what that company wants. But that's where it leads into my whole idea of as an employee. Because the more you do for them, the more they reward you. The more they get to control you, just like a boss controls you. They control you. They're telling you, okay, if you get 50%, I'm going to hook you up with, let's say, a raise. I'm going to give you the higher dollar orders that I'm going to give the guy that only wants to work part-time hours. You know what I'm saying? And that's wrong. They should be created equal. All drivers should be created equal. When we sign up, doesn't mean because Pedro does 20,000 deliveries, he can deliver a McDonald's better than I can with my 600 deliveries. So all those orders should be considered equal. We should all have same equal opportunity to look at those orders, regardless. It's like any other true independent contractor. The job is thrown out there. Everybody gets an opportunity to throw their bid on there. Now, whoever decides to pick it, there might be a bias on. Maybe the guy likes to, let's say, realty. He likes the big titty chick, so he's going to give it to her. But that's the same. That goes to the same thing. There are going to be, but as far as equal pay, no. That's once again, she's got the employee mindset when it comes to the equal pay. That's socialism stuff. That don't work. We already know that. But as far as equal opportunity for the orders, yes, every driver should have equal opportunity to see those orders, regardless of your status, whether it's a 1% AR or 100% AR.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
So you're kind of saying the reason the apps are able to do this is because they treat us like employees, right? There's
Exactly.
there's the tiers, the AR and the diamonds, right? Okay.
Exactly.
So if that's the case, and that's what you're feeling, and I think a lot of people feel that way sometimes, right? We're misclassified employees. I know you're one that says that. Hi guys, independent employees, and you make fun of it, but I know that you think that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But let me ask you this. Let's say that that's true. And you're saying, well, no, everybody should be, equal when it comes to opportunity, right? Not pay, but opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. This is where I'll disagree. So we both deliver pizzas. I do it with DoorDash. You've done it for other places in the past, right? So let's say you got a new guy coming in. You've been at the pizza place for 5 years, right? You got a new guy coming in on a Friday night. Should he have as much opportunity as you? Should he get this good zone? Or should you, as somebody that's been there and your boss can trust you because you've shown that you can give good service, the logistics of the maps, you're going to be quicker. Should you get the better zone and the better opportunity? Or are you saying it should be equal because he's new and he should get opportunities as well?
Well, he's going to get opportunities. That's how W-2s work. You get opportunities as delivery drivers. You're given opportunity, whether you're new or you've been there 8 years. And it just works by the system. You work by a computer system. Whatever pops up, if you're next in line, you take it. Could be $20.
Kind of like it's just like the next.
Exactly. So we all get to see all the orders. It just depends on which one you grab, whoever happens to be next in line. Whereas DoorDash is actually, they're not giving everybody the same opportunities to see those orders. They're just automatically giving it to the people that do what DoorDash wants them to do.
But you think it should be everybody sees everything. And
exactly. If Pedro has 20,000 rides and Pedro sees $50 orders, Roy with 600 rides should be able to see $50 orders as well. That's being a true independent contractor. That's kind of goes with the round robin situation. If I'm next up in line to get the next order, let's say we're both sitting in the parking lot. If I'm next in line to get that order to come to my phone, I should get it, not you, because you do what DoorDash wants you to do. And that's what's going to happen is they're going to give it to you first because you're DoorDash's pet, is what I'll call it. You're DoorDash's employee. You're the better employee for DoorDash. So they're going to give it to you first, where technically we're both equal. Whoever's first in line to get that order should be the one getting that order, not the guy that they choose to benefit because they're willing to do what DoorDash wants them to.
Yeah.
So as far as equal opportunity, yes. As far as equal pay, no, because a lot of pay is based on you just hustling, doing your thing. So, but when it comes to equal opportunity, that's where she has a point because yes, she's not being able to make the same amount of money because they're playing favorites to the ones they can control with their AR, their completion rates, shit like that. So she's got a point. She's got a point in that respect.
What would you tell her if you met her in a parking lot and she's telling you what she told us in the video? Like, what would your advice be to her? Would you give her any advice? What would you say? What would your response to her be?
Well, I would just explain to her that situation I just said. This is how it's going to go. If you want to be a pet of the company, you got to do what the company tells you to do. That's all there is to it. You need to realize that. These companies are just like any other company. They're gonna treat their pet drivers better than they are their part-timers, whatever the case. She needs to listen to that and learn that, and know that the system ain't fair. And unfortunately, we don't live in a fair world. Even in W-2 worlds, it's not fair. So she just needs to realize, get off the socialism mindset. But she is right. Equal opportunity as far as getting orders, that should be a thing. Equal pay, no, we don't deal with that. But
I got one
she
last.
just okay.
I got one last question. This is for Roy. Is Pedro DoorDash Santiago a DoorDash pet? Yes or no?
If DoorDash is Mr. Pedro is following what DoorDash tells him, so Pedro can end up with the better orders, then Pedro is a pet. Yes. If Pedro is keeping his AR 70% because Pedro knows the company's going to reward me for 70% because I'm willing to do what that company is asking me to do to get those orders, then yes, you're a pet. I'm sorry. You're a pet.
Oh, you're not hurting my feelings. I'm asking a question.
No, dead ass. If DoorDash is controlling you in any sort of way, whether it's through your AR, your completion rate, if DoorDash is controlling the amount of orders you get and the amount of money you're making, you're their pet. That's the way I look at it, because you're willing to do what DoorDash wants to make the money. So, yeah, I would say yes.
I like that.
They don't treat me the same way they treat you.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, and I think that could make, we can do a whole live about that. I think, people talk about like these apps are slaves and they're doing this. Like I'm gonna, that might be a next week, a little conversation about pet, not pet. I think that could be something. I'll be looking for you to come back next week, Roy.
Okay, for sure.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good night.
All right, no problem, guys. See ya.
All right, we got Gig Gal. I see Gig Gal still waiting. Let me see if she's here. Let's see. Gig Gal, are you with us?
I am.
All right. So give me your perspective as a full-time hustler, right? Doing your thing with these apps. Give me your perspective on the video, the topic at hand, and what she asked for in the video.
So first I'm going to start out with, I don't like the word favoritism, because we're not being favorited. Like, I work DoorDash a lot. I get crappy orders.
Mm-hmm.
I first started working DoorDash. I didn't care. I would do it as like a last resort. Decline. And now I'm fighting to try to get that up.
Yeah.
I still work it every day. I don't get good orders because I don't do what they want me to do. If
Mm-hmm.
I am, like, you're a hardworking restaurant worker, just like I was a hardworking restaurant worker. Did the people who came in when somebody called off with a hangover or stay late or anything like that, did they get the short end of the stick? Why should we give to her? And it has nothing to do with full-time or part-time, because I used to do Instacart part-time. I still do. I had a great day today on Instacart. I had a great day. Sometimes you just have a great day. It just depends.
Aren't there so many, being out as much as you are, and you're, don't you think there's so many factors that sometimes in the moment when we're not making money, or if we're making really good money, we sometimes don't realize there's so many other factors that go into that? You ever think about that?
Yeah, just like I was thinking, like, stay at a restaurant. If you're sitting down and you're eating, do you want the server who helped another table and never even looked at you to get the tip? Or do you want the server who helped you to get the tip?
Mm.
Like, we're not, like, why would we do tip pools for, or getting equal opportunity for the same thing? Like, no, at that point, no, because you know what? Instacart did do that. And now everybody can see the orders on Instacart. And the only way that you can get 30 seconds worth of time ahead where you're not looking at something else to get the app, to get the order. Like, we all have to fight for orders. It's tooth and nail. I barely do Instacart anymore because people wait out the doors, and those people make the most money.
They do. Yeah. Instacart's so hard too, because you don't have time. You don't have as much time with DoorDash, and there's like a little timer. With Instacart, it comes up and you can even click it and then hit accept, and then it'll tell you somebody else accepted it, and you just did it as fast as you could, right? So the Instacart system and the interface is just so unique in that way. It's just kind of open most of the time, and it's
the only app where you don't get an order that's sent specifically to you.
Yeah, it is like that. Yeah, it is
the only one, and they did that. And I'll tell you what, go on. The only one you're gonna see post anything positive about Instacart is Gig Dollar Man, and he's even been having a hard time this month. Like, he gets the best orders. Or let's say Mississippi Dashing. If you ever watched him, he was getting bad orders on Spark.
Yeah.
So what did he do? He drove all the way out to Tuscaloosa and was making like $300 a day.
Yeah.
if you're willing to do it. He works part-time. He works 2 days a week, but he was doing what the apps wanted him to do. He got the good ratings. He did what he was supposed to do. You can work part-time and still give the app what you're supposed to do. I have to work my butt off to get to where I need to be on DoorDash because I know that that's how I'm going to get the good orders. You can
Yeah.
still do that part-time.
Yeah. So you plan on you working tomorrow?
Monday's usually my days off, but
Okay. And you're back. I think you had your 5 days off, right? Last week?
yeah, finally. It was honestly, it sucked. It
Yeah.
sucked.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, go back out there and do what you got to do. I know you got to make up some time. It's, the great thing about this work is it can be very flexible, especially when you got kids and a husband and a family, but the times when the sucky part is if you miss some time, we got to go back out there and try to make that hustle up,
You get brain fog, but you also didn't ask me if what I would say to her.
Well, what would you tell her?
The fact that you played that video twice and I really looked at it, she looked like she was genuinely hurt. And for one thing, never let these apps be able to hurt you like that. Never let them have control. Like, you can give them what they want, because at the end of the day, I can get sick for 5 days. I didn't have to call anybody. I can get sick for 5 days and not work them. That is the benefit that we have of working these apps. So don't let an app hurt you. Get a different app. Download this. Download Spark. Spark's been really good. Like, when Instacart sucks, Spark's really good. Being able to shut off that app instead of just having that negativity every single time you're getting dressed to go out and work. Like, I'm not going to make anything. I never make anything on this app. Does wonders.
I like how you say, don't let these apps get you down. Because she did look hurt. She looked defeated. I think that's the word I use. And it's you don't want to. I don't like to see another hustler look like that, because that's not good, right? It's not. We shouldn't look like and feel like that by an app. We shouldn't give them that much control, right?
It will ruin everything too. It'll ruin everything. You won't even be able to have a good day if you just let them put that negativity into your head.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that. I like that. Nobody had said that yet, but I think you noticed that in her mannerism, her voice, her the way she looked defeated, for sure.
And one more thing, by the way, Roy, listen, pets are spoiled. They don't pay bills. They sit on couches. My dog is sitting right next to me. Pets get spoiled. If we're being pets by doing what the apps want us to do, then so be it. We get spoiled.
I like that. I like that response. I know Roy's over there chuckling. I love it. Good gal. Have a great week, and appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Oh, good. Hi. What's up, man? How you doing?
Is that?
One to another. So.
Oh wow! Hey, man.
Tell me what you think about it. Give me your perspective on it.
Okay, I'm just a little mind blown because I just delivered to a VIP, and I won't say who it was.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty cool. Oh, my card didn't go through. Okay, so anyways, 1 second here. So like, I totally agree. I would be the same girl as her. I was sitting in the Panera parking lot, typing away, going on Twitter, just really just upset with myself, and I was like, why am I doing this? I got to get a job. This stinks. But once I just put my mind to it and I was hustling, things changed. And my AR is low. I'm not in a good market. Mm-hmm. And I refuse to go into the city just because of the dangerousness of Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. So I do the suburbs, but I do just fine. I multi-app with Grubhub and stuff like that. But when I was sitting there moping around on my phone, man, I got to find a job. I was making nothing. But when I finally put a positive attitude, I got my AR up slightly, but not much. The highest I think I've ever gotten it on DoorDash was 32%. I don't think I've ever got it past 40. But when DoorDash was going bad, I would Instacart. And yeah, Costco's bumping, but so are your local grocery stores. And you get these small ones with people who value your time, just like you said for the past 2 years. Value our time. And you see these nice batches, and then you start to get the gold and the stupid Palladium and all these, little games that they're playing. but like it pays off. So I just picked up a shoveling gig. We had 2 big snowstorms. That was fun, and he pays me by the hour, and I get to just shovel and listen to my headphones. Snow everywhere, but like I thought outside the box. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna shovel. That's hard work. No, it's fun, and we get to use the blower, and I'm thinking outside the box. I'm not relying on these apps like one of your past guests said. I'm not letting them get me upset like I did not even 3 months ago. I really let these apps control me, and it really was affecting my physical and mental health. And I'm in a much better place now because I've been hustling.
It can have that effect on people. It's like a gaming app almost. The colors, the sounds, how it makes you feel. You know, it's definitely designed in that way. Let me ask you, like, what would you tell her if you saw her in a parking lot and she's talking about, I want equality in the apps? What would be your advice to her?
So here's kind of like, I'm not sure if she's able to do this, if she has, but maybe like take like 6 days and like hustle and do some really good orders and see if you can start having better luck. Because I did that. I did 6 days in a row, accepting stuff that I normally wouldn't accept, and just hustling and keeping the wheels moving. And then I started to get these $35 batches, $47 batches, ones with $13.50 base pay on DoorDash.
Yeah.
Grocery orders. Like, yes, you get rewarded if you reward the company, just like capitalism should be. But if you're just sitting there moping and expecting to make whatever the $13.75 guaranteed pay, I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your perspective.
Thank you.
I see you're on a walk right now. Let me ask you one question. That this is just between you and I. How was this morning?
Yeah. I didn't get to play. I'm playing tomorrow in Chelsea.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll check in with you tomorrow then. Sound good.
All right, man.
All right, have a good day. All right. So some different perspectives, some good perspective. I think a lot of you guys, even in the chat, are bringing up some good points. I like that. I like that you guys are bringing up like how she looked and the defeated, the control, the emotional aspect of the gig economy. Because this isn't for everybody, but there are enough of us out there that these apps, they can get a hold of you sometimes up here. They can. I'd be lying if I said there are times that there have been times I'm just sitting in my car and you have a bad day, a bad customer, you don't hit your goal, whatever it is, you have a bad drop off, a contract violation, you have something that happens that just pisses you off and you're mad. We've all been there. I don't know anybody that is that zen that is like nothing gets to them at all. We're human beings. Some of us look at it and we react differently to it, right? I'm trying to react better because it's just an app. There's so much crazy things going on in the world that are way more important. And even just in my world, it's more important. Like to bring that, to hold that negative energy for too long can be really bad. But these apps can do that to us sometimes. And typically, I think it's usually done to individuals when other things are kind of not going right. The apps not going right can kind of compound that. So how do we navigate those waters? I don't know. That's a personal thing. I'm not going to give advice in that way. But I definitely think there's a reality to that. This woman made that video. I'm imagining it's her husband. And he's like, babe, I want to document how you are right now, and I want to talk to Instacart. Make this video. They don't have a lot of viewers on that channel. I didn't see a lot going on there. They're not like a channel like some of you guys have or regularly watch. But she had a moment. She feels defeated. She feels it's not fair. It's not equal. Y'all know me. I'm a little bit of a tough love guy. Okay. I show empathy in my life to people that I know, friends, family, when it's something serious, So when I see people too often complain about something that I do think they have control over, I can't show empathy in that way. Because I think too many of us go online, and I'll include myself on this situationally. We go online and complain about things, but then we don't do anything different. You see, creators or drivers or people in the comments or on Reddit or Facebook, I'm not making money, I'm not making money. And they said the same thing 2 years ago. I'm not making money, I'm not making money. And they're saying, they just said it last week. They said the same thing. DoorDash sucks, it's the worst. And they're still doing it. Make that make sense to me. You're doing the same thing. You haven't changed. You haven't adapted strategy. You haven't tried another app, but you expect a different result. That's insanity. We can control our movements. You can't control the DoorDash app. It's accept, decline, get into programs, know where to be. That's about it. It's not that hard. But you can control your movements. You can control how the app makes you feel. Don't give it too much of your energy and your time. I think a lot of us sulk in and we wallow in the pain of not making money. I'm not seeing offers. What do? We're banging our head against the wall. I get it. But at some point, when are we going to realize, okay, I just sat here and made $7 in 2.5 hours, I think she said. Why? Why'd you stay there for that long? Are you being too selective? I don't know. There are some people, I think, in 2024 with the saturation levels of the market, the tipping culture fatigue, people haven't adapted. They would see a $10 Walgreens on Instacart for 5 items and nope, I don't do anything on Instacart unless it's $20. But they're sitting in a parking lot. The Walgreens is across the street. It's $10. It's 5 items. It'll take you 20 minutes to make $10. There are people in 2024 that would still decline that order, and then 2 hours later make a video saying I only made $7. When if you would have taken that order, which isn't a bad one, if you look at everything, you'd be at $17, and then maybe you would have seen something else, and now you're at $27. But no, too many of us sit in a parking lot, complain about things, and aren't willing to re-strategize. Let's think about that for a second. I think that that's true with a lot of people. And I'm not saying you got to bend the knee. I don't want us to compromise. You shouldn't take upside down orders. You should take orders that make sense for you. But there are times of the day you have to be a little more loose. You have to be a little more fluid in your order selection. You can sit in a car for an hour and do nothing and make $0 and feel proud that I wasn't a pet. I didn't bend the knee. Well, hey, I just did a $6 for a mile at McDonald's. I don't love that, but I'll take it. And I have $6 in my pocket. Maybe I did one more. Now I got $12. You have $0. And I just made $12 and drove 4 miles. Who is in a better financial situation at that point? You or me? I have $12 in my pocket. Out of that profit, out of that 12, 9 of that's coming to me. 9 of that dollars is mine. While you're sitting in a car, you've made $0. Who's winning? Some would say I'm losing. It's only $9, Pedro. I get it. But that's better than 0. So you don't have to I'm not saying take $2, $3 runs, a $7 Instacart with 50 items. No. But I think situationally, it's okay to adapt a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. I talk about sports a lot. I love basketball. I watched football today with my kid. It was a great day, right? Not every play when I go out on the basketball court, it's going to be a 3-pointer or a dunk. I'm going to miss some shots. Sometimes you take, as a sports person, you take what the defense gives you. I'm watching a football game today. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes wants to sling that rock down the field 40 yards, but if he looks at the line and the linebacker, they're in man defense or they're in zone, and he says, you know what? On first down, I know if I run this play, I'm going to get 5 yards. I want 20, but I know I can get to 20 later maybe. Let me loosen it up a little bit. Let me hand the ball off to Pacheco, 5 yards. And that's not bending the knee. You want to throw it down the field for 20. But if that play's not there, if the defense did something different, if the algorithm isn't rewarding you, if your marketplace is dried up, you have to adapt. We've been talking about that for a couple of years here. All right, let's see what we got. Bud Soda, what up? Ricky Moss. It's a game. Yeah, Princess and Sarah. I find if I take some no-tip orders, I end up with some good ones afterwards. If that works for you, if you're hitting your results, right? Bartimus, what up? Where do you draw the line? I draw the line at, I don't do anything. I'll do a 4.25 for a mile at certain times of the day. I don't do anything less than that. Instacart, it's got to be at least $10. That's just me, right? Like I'll do a $10 for a mile, 5 items at Walgreens, depending on the time of day. I don't mind doing that. It's not gonna take me long. Cash flow. I think about cash flow. I think about where it leaves me. Especially if it's 2:30 in the afternoon, yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna do that. Other times of the day, I might not. If I've got a $7 peak pay on DoorDash like I did last week, I'm not taking that $10 Walgreens. Hell no, because that's a loss. Because I'm going to be making $10 while I should be on something that's probably $15 to $20. So to me, not everything is black and white. There's nuances. There's gray zones. Okay, you have to be fluid. You have to, for me, I think that those are the workers out here that are going to have the most success. Business owners are usually very fluid. You don't have just one way of doing it. We're not doctors, we're not lawyers, there's no law here. If you're a doctor, it's got to be this way or whatever, because there's procedure. This isn't that kind of work. So it's okay to be fluid, right? Dazzledor, what do you think about doing a shift where all you do is shop and deliver? Like selected shop and deliveries and preferences and deselecting delivery. I've been thinking about trying that. Yeah, that could be good. You might miss out on some opportunity, but I'm not getting out of bed for less than $150 a day. You got to go get that $150 though. Mary Sims, how are you? Thanks for being a channel member. I made $145 in 4 hours, 55 minutes. My day is done. I'm home relaxing. Great day. Love that for you. What up, Butsoda? How you doing? Big Carl, what's up? Crying and playing the victim just shows me you're a weak mentality. Listen, you know me, Big Carl. I talk about victim mentality. I talk about, I am not for that. I think that's a place that if you feel it, I think a lot of times people play the victim in times when they're not a victim and you're just really hurting yourself, right? You're really hurting yourself. What's Butsoda say? None you claim miles, you can claim, I don't know. Okay, well, that's tax talk. I'm not going to talk about that tonight. $50 for 5 hours in Southern California is absolutely criminal. Well, that's what happened to me. That is criminal. You have Prop 22, so you made more than that. So I'm a little confused by that comment because you can't, you have Prop 22. So you might have made that on the app, but you're going to get the money back, right? Am I missing something? Cray hates shopping, but she's been shopping. She on that, she's trying to get that Pedro status, man, with shop and deliver. She's trying to get that priority. Lyrical Prophet, how you doing? I think you all are doing a fantastic job, brothers and sisters. Stay blessed. Appreciate that, man. We got a great community. Hustler Hyena, how are you, brother? Big fan. SoCal, where in Cali? I'm in San Diego. I make decent. Yeah, there should be Prop 22 should kick in, right? 150 miles, $84. What's that on? Prop 22 is incredible. You ain't missing. Yeah, he should. Yeah, that person should be making it. There's a minimum there, right? So positivity equals I'm grateful to be able to make this money so easy. Gal, I hear that, man. Let me put that comment up. So I think a lot of us, hold on. Let's put that one up. And then after that, she says negativity. I can't pay my bills because the apps don't give me orders. Woo! Hot topic. Yes, because listen, let me put that positive one up again, though. Read that, and then I'll put this negative one up. Yeah, I think a lot of people blame the apps. I get it, guys. Listen, these apps can be shady. We know it. But once you realize what they are, and a lot of people give me shit. They say I'm a shill. I'm getting paid by DoorDash. I've never cashed a check from DoorDash. They've never sent me anything. I've never had any correspondence with them. The reason you've seen this channel shift, and I still complain sometimes, but I did more of it a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, right? Because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I also evolved as a man. Okay, when I first started this channel, I had a daughter, but she's older, right? But now I have a new baby. She's 2.5. Her name is Ruby. Many of you have seen her, right? So as you grow up as a man or woman, as a father, as a mother, as a gig worker, you start to learn what is really important. And you start to learn that these apps are just opportunities. DoorDash and the people at DoorDash, the people at Instacart, they have no idea who I am. They have no idea who you are, and they could give a fuck less, as they should. The moment you start taking control of your situation, taking control of your marketplace, making it work for you, and not playing the victim and adapting, and maybe you got to go back to a W-2. That's okay. That's not defeat. That is knowing your market might not be sustainable. This work isn't for you. You don't want to keep doing. You got some car issues. You got this, you got that. The opportunities right now for real hustlers, not fake ones, real ones, in my opinion, has never been better. And I'm going to tell you why. The work ethic of the average American in this country is taking a nosedive. Let me say that one more time. The work ethic of the average American person has taken a nosedive. People right now, especially some of the younger kids, they value different things. They value their freedom, their time. They want everything to be perfect. They're more chill. They're not as money hungry. There still are a lot of them, but not like it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. So because of that, there's still demand for work and services that need to be done. So if you have that hustler mentality, you're up against all. Listen, how do I say this? I want to use the word, but I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm not going to use the word. But there are a lot of soft people. And the ones that aren't soft, those are the ones having success. The soft individuals are the ones you see complaining and never leveling up. They're always going to be in the same spot. They'll be in the same spot they were last year, 5 years ago, 5 years from now. They'll be in the same exact spot complaining about the same things. Let's not be those individuals. And if you are one of those individuals, have a heart-to-heart. Look in the mirror. Like, do you want to be feeling the way you're feeling right now and blaming the gig app companies, or do you want to take control of the situation yourself? I think that's fair. It's a fair question. These kind of hustles aren't for everybody, especially full-time. It's a grind. I see some of my brothers and sisters out there, my content creators, or some of y'all that are subscribers and viewers, you're hustling 10, 12 hours a day. I couldn't do that. I could do it physically. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in my car 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. That to me personally would drive me insane. But it works for a lot of you guys. I respect it. I salute you because you're hitting your goals. At least I hope you are. You're hustling. You're working towards something. You got an eye on the prize. You see a light at the end of the tunnel because you're making that light for yourself by and through your hustle. So keep going. To my part-timers out there, I know it's rough out here. The part-time money is not going to be like it was 2 years ago. Part-timers are going to struggle more. That's just a fact. Because there's more people out there. It's harder. There's more programs. And the part-timers are going to struggle more. Not all the time, but overall, they will. The true hustlers will always be okay. So you have to decide what part do you want to play in the gig economy. Okay? It's definitely hard out here for a pimp. Definitely can't do over 6 hours as Bud said. Yeah. You know, for me, I like, I'm usually, this week we had some family stuff. So there were a few days I only worked a couple hours. One day I think I worked 2 or 3. The most I worked this week, one day I think was almost 8. And that's the day that I was live. It was like I worked 7 hours. I think I was out for 7.5, something like that, maybe 8. But I wasn't active though. But that was my longest day. And that's a normal day for me because in my city, that's about where I can be to make a certain amount of money. And, and I'm still trying to, and I still passively make money doing other things, YouTube being one, and there's a few other, but I'm still trying to figure out like, where's this, I want to be working in gig apps like 20 hours a week. I was doing that for a while. Some things happened. I had to come back a little more full time, but now I'm in a spot I can get back to that 4 days or 3 longer days a week. And that's going to be better for me, better for my health, better for my mind, better for my family, better for the other things that I'm trying to build. I think a lot of us think about that short money. I call it short money. We think about, I just got to make this today. We're so focused on the moment, we forget about why we came to really do this, and we forget about the things that we really want to do. And we get so ingrained in that almost addiction of working apps, making my 200, making my 300, right? But just make sure you're working towards something because you can get sucked in. Mary, appreciate the $5 super sticker. Thank you very much. Let me read a few more comments here. It's been a long day, so this live won't be super long. But yeah, I'm gonna play that video one more time for you guys that might have missed it. I do want to bring it up one more time. I think that's it. Is that the video? Hold on one second. Ooh, hold on. Did I wonder? Oh, hold up. Actually, you know what? I don't want to show it because we already showed it. It's fine. We don't need to do that. Appreciate all the super chats, all the love. What do we have going on this week? I'll share a couple things with you guys before we leave because I didn't want this live to be too long. I do want to spend some time with Madison because we haven't spent a lot of time this week because her family was in town, and I need to spend some time with her. And the baby's sleeping, so like I need to do that, right? So you know, as much as I love y'all, she comes first, right? At least I tried to do that. It's been a long day already, so a few things this week coming up. You're going to be seeing a video from my man Dash and Trader that I've yet to. He's finalized it. I got to do it on my end, but he's going to be talking about content creation, gig work, how he makes it work, how the YouTube stuff goes, and why he does what he does. And it's a really good video. It's like only 5 minutes or so. So that's going to be coming this week. I don't know when yet, but we collaborated. This is probably the 7th or 8th video he's made for the Mr.BetonYou brand, and I'm always humbled that he gives me his time. So that's coming up. I'm also working on finalizing some things for the Curbivore event in downtown LA, which is March, the last weekend of March, I believe. I should be going out to downtown LA to be a part of that and broadcasting some things and showing you guys some things like I did last year. Super looking forward to that. So more info on that coming as things become finalized. And I'm figuring out what we're going to do for GigCon 2024. Because as you know, the Moves company is no longer around. They were a big sponsor and a big part of that. I don't have that anymore. They're not even around. So that's a loss for us, right? But that doesn't mean the show doesn't go on. I just have to figure out what I got to hustle my way, right? As the creator of this event, these events that we've done. I might do a virtual one before. We did a virtual one a year and a half ago or so, right? In October, and it was great, right? I might do that again because that was really, really, really good, right? So just know that those things are kind of some things coming up, and obviously we'll give you guys some daily content, stuff like that. And I know you guys like the ride-alongs. Been trying to do a few more lives here and there. I think you guys like a place to come and be in the chat. It's a very, very awesome group of hustlers that we have here. So that's what I got going on right now. Feeling pretty good. January's been a pretty good month. I know it's slow for some, busy for others. January for me has been very solid. It's been a little better than I expected it to be, right? But if you know, you know. Like I figured out some things in St. Louis, and I'm trying to give you guys that information to see if it might apply in your market. Because if it does, it could be a game changer. So I'll keep showing you guys these things. And I know a lot of you don't agree with it. You think, oh, that's not real, or I don't have that in my market. You don't have it now, but it doesn't mean it might not come. I believe a trend we're going to see in 2024 because the apps or the companies are telling us this. Papa John's, Pizza Hut, 7-Eleven, and other pizza joints. Okay? The base pay on some of these orders is going to continue to grow. As they get rid of in-house delivery and they have to use you and I as a third party, in some cases, and listen to my words, in some cases, in some markets, those base pays are going to be inflated. You have to figure out how to find that. Take notes, take mental notes, think about things, have conversations with the people that are running these places. The next time you're in a Papa John's and a Pizza Hut, you need to ask them one question. And just do it. I don't care if you're shy, fucking do it. Ask them, hey, are you guys still doing in-house deliveries? You guys have delivery drivers still? And shut up and let them see what they say. Knowledge is power. You guys are absolutely amazing. This is a shorter live tonight. I'm going to spend the rest of my night with my girl. Appreciate all the love. Appreciate the thumbs up. Appreciate the super chats. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow.